Hello everyone, it's Sean. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we've actually done a radio restoration, and I've done quite a few, not as much as some of the other more popular radio restoration channels. I've done a few for some clients where I've restored radios. Done at least one Zenith radio, the first radio I restored, and I sold on eBay. But you know, I've been kind of wanting a radio for myself. I definitely wanted one with shortwave on it, and there happened to be on Facebook Marketplace of all places this radio you see right in front of me that somebody was getting rid of for like 70 bucks, I want to say. And I think it was a really good find, and I'll let you be the opinion of that. But anyways, we have a Sparton broadcast and shortwave radio here, and it's in pretty good condition. And the cloth is a bit dirty, and we got some minor defects in the wood, but I'd say overall the chassis, well, really the chassis is what the components are all sitting in, but the console for this radio is in very good condition. All the knobs freely move. Assume that one's volume. Here goes the tuning. This cycles between broadcast and shortwave. I have to look up what that P represents. I'm not too sure. But let me move it around to the back. And with everything turned over, we can look at the back now. I'll turn on the light. We still have little model plate sitting over here. Sleeve tells us the configuration for our vacuum bulbs, our vacuum tubes. This is a 6-tube set, push-pull amplifier configuration, going to our permanent magnet loudspeaker sitting here, audio transformer. Everything looks very good. I mean, it's other than some dirt and debris. We'll be taking this apart and giving it a service, and you know, as per what I've been doing here on this channel with these radios anyways. A couple of the original tags in here, and we've got actually a few service dates as well. Looks like the last one, it was serviced in 1952. It's that July 3rd. This radio, didn't find it. There's a little note here. I can hardly make out the words. Maybe 75 or something. I'm not sure. But last person who was in there doing maintenance. And I'll do my best to try to preserve these paper tags. Maybe throw some hodgepodge or something on them to keep them from breaking anymore. I'd hate to lose that. But yeah, when I go to restore this, we'll definitely need to take some precautions. Even the power cord itself, is in pretty good condition. I mean, it's not cracked. It's still pretty pliable.
Dad, what are you doing?
Working on a radio, baby.
On the radio?
Yeah. Alright, give me a second. My daughter came to pay me a visit. Yeah, even the power cord is it's in pretty good condition. We can see that we got a knot there. It's kind of come out a bit. We'll address all that. Oh, another note here. 1952. Something trickery. No change. I don't know. No clue. But we'll preserve that too, because that adds to the history of it. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting radio. Hold on one second. Sparton Withington, I think, was the original company name. I think they were founded around early 1900s, if not 1900 itself. And going off of memory from what I read online, I believe they started out in kind of more the automotive arena, manufacturing like car horns and stuff like that, and they eventually contracted the names was it Sparton Withington or Sparks Withington or something like that. But they contracted the two names to form Sparton. Eventually got into the radio manufacturing arena. I don't think they were very popular, at least from what I read online, past the 1930s and radios and television sets. I think there was a little bit to do with the fact that they originally didn't want to pay patents to RCA or whoever to build radios from this era. Vacuum tubes and stuff like that were all manufactured. They in-house or through some subsidiary that they paid for themselves. A whole bunch of to-do kind of type stuff there, which is rather interesting, but I'm more interested in just preserving the history we have with this radio, which, if I'm not mistaken, Sparks Withington or Spartan contracted. I think this was manufactured, this type of radio, around 1946 to 1948. So, and we can see we're at American Made, Jackson, Michigan. So, but it, like I said, it's in really good condition. So I'm actually, because this is going to be my radio, and because I don't have internet outside of using hotspot on my phone, we're going to take a bit of time restoring this, and I'll probably do one or two things that I haven't done with previous radios, because if I mess up something on my own radio, I'm perfectly okay and can rectify it. Really, this is a transformer set, so I am going to take this power cord, and the seller said it worked. I don't know if I trust that, but I am going to plug it in here, and I'm just going to take this down. Let's take it down to about 50. I'm going to turn it on, keep my eye on this bulb. We'll turn on the radio, see if we get any life whatsoever. And at the very least, we'd be able to tell if the transformer is bad or not. So, doesn't seem like anything at 50. I'll go ahead and just bump this up. Well, most likely, if anything, we're going to hear some bad caps, or we'll see some smoke if it is bad. Let's get this up to, say, around 90. And yeah, the bulb is illuminated a little bit. Well, we're not bright, so we definitely don't have any dead shorts. Still not hearing anything out of the speaker. Alright. Our pilot lamp is lit. You can see that right there. So we do have signs of life. And switching between the bands. We got some crackling at the speakers, but yeah, I'm not picking up anything on any stations. You can already tell that the tuner is going to need some work. Felt that slipping. Yeah, I'll definitely have to figure out what's going on with this tuning mechanism. Anyways, we're starting to get a little bit of signs of life now, so that's at least a positive. So I would say our transformer is most likely good. I'm turning it off. I'll tell you what, why don't we get the vacuum tubes out and let's get them tested. Alright, so in order to remove the radio from its chassis, the first thing we gotta do is take off these knobs. And all it requires is a little bit of pressure outwards on the knob, and you can pull them right out. I'm just going to use my fingers to do this, and hopefully can, oh, some of these are pretty well on there. Hopefully can get them done with just my fingers. There we go. Because I don't want to put any pressure on this wood and dent it in. But yeah, just with a little bit, should be able to get them all off. That went okay, but unfortunately, the center came out of here. Wonder if this was replaced at one point, because that does look a little bit different. This might have been a repair job, I'm not too sure. But anyways, if not, I'll work to get this off of that that selector switch there, and we'll get that remedied. I got 4 screws at the bottom that I also need to take out, and that should free the chassis from the console. Then we'll have to free the speaker out as well. And with the chassis removed from the console, you definitely do have quite a bit of dust buildup in here. This is a good case of where's my cigarettes? Quite a bit of buildup. We'll need to get all this cleaned up. There were 2 spacers sitting on the front, these 2 right here, and this one was kind of wedged in the back a little bit behind one of these chassis screws or whatever, mostly to probably prop the radio up at an angle just a little bit so the plate's facing the right direction. But I threw the knobs back on, and with it removed from the chassis, this spins a lot better now. So we're definitely going to need to get all this cleaned up. You can see it is dirty. It's absolutely dirty. We'll get all this cleaned up. There goes a few of our electrolytics right here on this can. What do we have? Let's see, 15 microfarad, 450 volt, 10 microfarad. Is there any more in here? Maybe that one's just 2. Of course, common negative. Is that one still hooked up? Let me turn this over. Woo, yeah, dirty. we got a 16 microfarad 450 volts sitting right there, sitting below that that can. Looks like it's tied across it. It's possible that this red electrolytic you see sitting here is a replacement. Big old dog bone 1K ohm resistor, probably about 2 watts or so. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look it up. The transformer looks to be in very good condition. Even the wires coming out aren't frayed. I don't see, it oozing out anywhere. This might be a fairly low hour set. I mean, I'm not too sure, but who knows? Oh, we got goodies up here. We got a lot of spider webs, and looks like a spider husk right up there in that corner. Way back there in the upper right side. You see those legs sitting up in there. Crunchy. Definitely has some critter crawlers at one point. Yeah, all these wax paper foil capacitors are going to have to get replaced. These electrolytics definitely will too. I'm not seeing any broken wires anywhere else. Hopefully our IF cans are in good working condition. Our oscillator seems to be pretty well too. Band selectors for both. Nothing looks like it's gotten too hot or burned out, so this should be a fairly straightforward restoration. With it removed, I kind of want to plug in, turn it on just one more time, and just physically take a look at all these vacuum tubes and see if we got filament on all of them. Did a little bit of cleaning up of our tuning capacitor here. The actual glass bulbs of our vacuum tubes. It appears we have filament on our 5Y3 rectifier. Looks like we have filament on both of our 6K6 amplifier, push-pull amplifier tubes. Let's see, our dual diode triode 7B6. I can't really tell with it. It's because it's got that silver topping or whatever, but down at the bottom, if I could get a good angle, it does look like there might be some light down in there. Not too sure. Definitely seeing filament here on the 7A7. Then our converter tube, we got filament as well, which is our 6A8 GT. So I mean, it appears that we got filament, hopefully. Now, I did go ahead and take off my wedding band and my other ring with the chassis removed. I'm not going to be touching things on here with metal objects on me. I'm going to practice safety regardless of the fact that there's a transformer on here because we are still dealing with AC. But we're still not drawing a whole lot of current. I think this is hopefully just going to mostly be a recap job. But nothing, at least at this point, appears to be too far out of sorts. So let me go ahead and get these vacuum tubes out, and we'll test them each individually. For our rectifier, we got 5B5C1 and 5B5E1. I currently have it set for 5B5AB. Let's see, A, B, C, and slot 1 right there. Let's see what we get on emissions. Oh, let's first turn this on. Alright, let's see what we get on emissions. So it appears as though we got a pretty weak tube. Not much leakage though. We probably need to get that one replaced. Any shorts? Yeah, we do have a short. Again, our notes say short on F. I think normal, short F, H, and K. Yeah, we do have short on them as well. Let's see, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yep. So that is normal. F, G, H, I, or K. Sorry, HK. You know what? Let me put this on C and test the other side. A, B, C. Oh wait, 5Y, 3. Oh no, E. That's what I'm looking for. So A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. The diodes are reading for this rectifier pretty weak. Most likely I'm going to need a new 5Y3. Okay, alright, our first 6K6, which is 6B5D1, 6B5D slot 1. And I've had it on emissions for probably about 5 or 6 minutes now. This thing is tired. Super tired. Yeah. What happens if I turn the filament up any? Alright, it's starting to come alive a little. I wonder if that thing's gone to air. Its emissions aren't high though. Okay, let me pop in the second one. Whew, hot. Yeah, there's our second 6K6 GT. Yeah, emissions is way down on this guy too. Alright, so we know we're going to at least need to replace those two. This is down, we're going to replace it. Let's check our 7B6. Give me 1 second. Alright, 7B6 going. We got multiple tests with it. 7A, 7B, 6G, 7B6, 6G7D6. That's going to test both diodes. Then our triode is probably right there at 6F7E6. And yeah, that first diode's actually is reading pretty good. Let me set it up for the next diode. And grid leakage isn't bad, and I mean, we're a little tired. And that second diode, but otherwise I think that's good. Let's do the last setting. Alright, 6F7E. Yeah, emissions aren't looking too happy here. Pretty sure I got quite a few spare of all these, maybe the exception of that. Maybe the exception of the our rectifier. I'm pretty sure I have all these vacuum bulbs. Alright, moving on to the next one. Okay, 7A7 is our pentode. Let's see what we're getting here. Yeah, we're still reading a tad bit tired, but this one's not really. This one would probably still work, if I'm being honest. No shorts. A, B, C, D, E. Not detecting any grid leakage. I'm going to leave this one, even though it's reading a tad bit tired. It's pretty questionable. We might be able to get by with still using this one. Yeah, our 6A8 pentagrid converters. It's looking pretty tired too. Now let me see what I have in stock. So I decided to take a break from the radio for a second, just kind of oil up the console a bit, get it a tad bit cleaned up, and you can actually see. Here, let's get a light on. Here we go. That's from one of those wax capacitors. See, the beeswax from it was dripping. I don't know if that was from wherein I turned it on while I was inside the chassis or what. Yeah, so those guys are definitely going to be replaced. We got one that's at least bad. It's probably going to expire and give up the ghost here. But just wanted to get this blowed out and cleaned out just a wee bit. Well, with a little bit of oil, I was able to get the console cleaned up quite a bit. That wood soaked up that oil. I will have to get some actual wood polish, but now I've got this under slightly better light. We can see a bit more of the character in it. We do have a split in the wood here. I don't know if I'm going to sand this thing down and pack this with anything and get it nice and pretty and put a new varnish on here, or just leave it. I mean, it's not going to be just a shelf queen sitting up on a shelf and doing nothing. I am going to put this in use and use it, but I'm not too sure yet whether I'm going to do something about that or just leave the character there that it's earned over the years. Inside we can see where the speaker was sitting. We do have a bit of damage as well. And this right here I will most likely will address in some fashion. Because that's gonna rattle and make some noise, undesired noise, so that will most likely have to be addressed. And I'll get that, you know, cleaned up. It cleaned up pretty well just with oil. I mean, it's not perfect, but better than what it was. That bit of cleaning on the chassis blew out the inside and wiped some things down. Just giving a look around. I mean, you can see right there which two capacitors. Pretty much decided to drip on the console a bit there. Oh yeah, they're pretty much done. And I'm willing to believe that this is not original. That's not original. Maybe not that guy or that guy. Potentially not this dog bone resistor here, but I'm not too sure. We actually have a phono audio input right here, so that's what the P stands for. So I don't need to make a external amp. We've got a way to tie in audio just right here. Of course, it'd be in mono, so we'll go from this phono input to appropriate size cable to hook up a Bluetooth device, pump audio from a cellular phone mobile device into the radio. Of course, after we get our shortwave and broadcast band medium wave working. Cleaned up the chassis too. I mean, it's at least better than what it was. Cleaned up the dial plate too. You know, I'll go back through here and I'll probably get it a lot better than what it is. But for now, this will do. For now, at least I know I've touched it, and I can work on it. Word of advice: your audio transformers. I'll wipe this off. They're often used as a choke as well. So don't go playing with these plugs and stuff like that with the power on, or else the you know, you might induce a nice electrical ouchy, hurty, stingy situation. Speaker's not in too bad shape. Looks like our cone is slightly cracked here, but we could patch that with either some KT tape because it's flexible, or put a little rubber cement on it. I'll probably just use KT tape. I did that with a bigger speaker and I actually really like the results of it. So, but other than that, not much else was done other than replacing this bulb right here. And I realize it's kind of washed out, but yeah, both pilot lamps are. now on. So of course, no audio or anything. We've got incredibly weak tubes that need to be replaced, and unfortunately I was wrong. I don't have a single one of these vacuum tubes. I had several 7B7s, but no 7A7s, no 7B6s. I thought I had these 6K6s, but no, they were 6F6s, and I definitely don't have this rectifier or our converter, so I'm going to have to get a full complement of vacuum tubes as well. So really, I think at this point the only thing I can do is I need to download the service manual for this. I need to inventory the capacitors I have on stock and get the capacitors I need on order, especially replacement electrolytics. I'm going to leave the can. I'm probably not going to repack it, but I'll at least put the electrolytics down on inside the chassis. I want to keep this looking rather nice. Whether or not that one electrolytic we saw on the bottom, that red one, is on the schematic, if that happens to be the case, I will probably repack that one. Yeah, it's going to need an alignment too. Our IF cans over here on the side, you see where that little tape is at. There's actually openings to variable capacitors, tuning caps, essentially trimmer caps on the inside. I believe 2 of them probably to front end selectivity because they tie to the antenna. Maybe, or at least 1, maybe 2 of them also for, you know, getting our stations tuned in to exactly where they should be on the dial. So we'll find out about all of that, but not on this episode. This is pretty much where I'm going to call it quits for now, because I need to get a lot of parts on order, and there's no way for me to really condense down everything into a nice sizable format for this video, especially if I have to upload using hotspot with very limited data until I got some better internet or something. So I'm going to keep this video exactly where it's at right now. Yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching part 1 of this restoration for our Sparton 6-26 or 62, whichever one it is. And if you enjoyed it so far, let me know. Leave some comments in the description. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. If you're in need of a repair or restoration yourself, you know, go through my videos, see what I'm capable of, reach out to me, go to my Google site, contact my email address. More than happy to work with you on what you need repaired. But anyways, thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye. Bark.